All right, let's try it again. Hopefully this will work. I lost them. I lost you. I'm so sorry. So hopefully you guys can pick back up. Hi, Eric Brown. I lost you guys. Tara, one of my Mavericks. Hi, Pumpkin. Y'all falling back in. I'm so sorry. Thank you for tapping in. But yeah, I lost you guys on the other one. So hopefully I'm going to let everybody file back in over here. So I apologize. But I was asking who has gone over and registered for the Publicity Secrets Revealed webinar, virtual masterclass that I'm teaching on Thursday, completely free. D, hi Pumpkin. Completely free. I'm going to go over the 6 secrets publicists don't want to tell you, or don't want you to know. I think that's what I call it. Don't want you to know. So let's try this again. PST 5:15. Yeah, 5:15 PST. 7:15 Central and 8:15 Eastern. Welcome back, Sandy. This is the Media Scope. So this is all things media this afternoon. And we're teaching from, what's up, Miss Sharp Dresser? Thanks for tapping in. I lost you guys a little earlier. I hit the wrong button, I guess, and it froze. So I want to actually teach in the moment. Love the look. Oh, thank you. Thanks for inviting the followers too, D. That's actually going to be what we're going to talk about. The media tip is prepare for the worst, but it's coming from a place of I didn't really have to prepare for the worst, but this is what we're going to talk about. Roshonda, what's up, Ro? Hi, honey. Happy belated Valentine's Day. So, media tip for the day is the fact that, so I had a podcast. Oh, thank you. That's what we're going to talk about. So I had a podcast interview with a man named Wes Schaefer. And Wes is like a beast in the sales space. And so he wanted to talk to me today. And we did the interview for the podcast. And then he also did the video so that he could record it and put it on YouTube. So I had gone to the gym right before, and so the interview was at 1, and I know I was cutting it a little closer, which is the media tip for the day, is make my point. So I come in from the gym, I'm looking all sweaty, I look a hot mess. I tell my brother, like, listen, you can't come out your room for an hour because I'm going to be doing this interview, and it's an official interview. It's not like I'm doing the Periscopes and I'm okay with him walking back and forth. So I told him you can't come out your room and be walking back and forth. So we're standing in the kitchen, and he was like, what time is your interview? And I was like, at 1. He said, you know, it's 12:40. I'm like, yeah. He's like, you gonna look like that? And so I was like, no, I'm getting ready to jump in the shower. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna look cute. And so when I was standing in the shower, I was like, I was going to teach you guys something else today, but then this happened. I'm like, no, I'll say what I was going to teach today till tomorrow. I'm going to teach in the moment. But the thing was, the reason why I could, I don't recommend this for anybody, but right now I've got a lot of moving parts and stuff going on. So I'm committed that I have to get gym time in. So when I had a window where I could go to the gym and get my workout in, it was like, I know I'm going to be, cutting it close, but I'm going to do it. Oh, thank you for double tapping. Yes, thank you, Miss Sharp Dresser. But the point is, the reason why I could cut it that close, the reason why is because I know my stuff. I know what I want to talk about. I had already found out what we were talking about. It's no different than what I normally talk about, what I get on here and teach you guys. And so I know my stuff. So I was ready before today. I knew what my sound bites were. I knew what my talking points were. Once he told me what he wanted to discuss last week, mind you, we just booked the interview. Hey. Thanks y'all for tapping in. Once we booked the interview on, I think it was Thursday, he asked me, could we record it on Monday or early last week or something. I forget when he told me, but I already went into prep mode. And it doesn't take me a lot of time to prep because I know what I'm talking about. So when you're doing media, you have to, and Tara, are you still here? Tara Page, are you still here? Tell me if you're still here. Because you're gonna let them know that what I'm saying is true. If Tara, if you're still here, can you hear me? Yes, ma'am. Okay, so Tara is one of my Mavericks. Tara, do I not prep you so hard that no matter what goes wrong, that you can answer the questions in the sound bites? Let them know. Tara is one of my one-on-one mavericks that I worked with. Yes. That no matter how they come at you to ask you the question, I have prepped you on how to answer it in such a way that however they come, if they come to the left, you're going to answer it. If they come to the right, you're going to answer it. So you see, I wasn't stressed out about it being 12:40 in my interview at 1 o'clock because I know my stuff. I know the talking points and I hit every single talking point. The interview ended up being for 50 minutes. I hit every single talking point that I wanted to hit. And if the interview was only 3 to 5 minutes, I knew in my head what points I need to hit. And that comes from practice. You can't wait to actually be on during the interview to use that as a practice. Tara, tell them how much I drilled you. Tell them while you're typing that. I had another client, Juanita. I was getting her ready for her Orlando appearance. And drilled her just like I drilled. Yes, Roshonda. Roshonda, for those of you who don't know, Roshonda Pratt is an executive producer in Columbia that she and I are going to be collaborating. So, on some things of getting, my Mavericks ready for her because she executive produces in South Carolina. So my Maverick Juanita, she was doing an NBC interview in Orlando. Now, something happened that day where a normal 15-minute commute, there had been an accident on the freeway. It took her an hour, hour and a half. She literally, hi Pumpkin, that's another one of my new Mavericks. She literally walked into the studio, they mic'd her up and they were live. Now, that could have thrown her had she not been drilled, had she not been practiced. She could have been caught up in the franticness of it all. We're on the phone and Skype until 2 a.m. and then I listen to the recording while I slept. That's my Maverick Tara. It is key that you practice so when the worst happens with Juanita walking into the studio because she got, sound like I'm going to have to join your Maverick team. Hi, Ronika. So when she walked into the studio and all they're doing is prepping her, she ain't got time to be practicing. That ain't the time to practice. She get ready to go live. Another case, my Maverick Shauna Naylor. Some of you might have seen her on The Doctors. And I got to witness it. I drilled Shauna the night before. Shauna is based in Houston. They flew her to LA and I had her up till like 2 o'clock in the morning. When you kill it, they ask you back. Yes, Tara. So I was drilling Shauna to 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, because once I give you your soundbite and I give you a keyword, I expect you to speak it and record. I don't care if I'm waking you up from a dead sleep. If you ask me, one of my pitches is the 5 elements every reality show needs to be a hit. And I talk about the prime, Prime. My talking points are shaped around prime. I don't care if you come at me and say, TeeJ, I'm going to tell you, every reality show needs to be manageable. It means it needs to manage the elements that they're shooting in. It needs to manage the cast. If you just throw out the P, I'm going to tell you, every reality show needs to be profitable, meaning it takes 3 seasons before a reality show actually makes money. If you just randomly throw out what's the ET, it's expandable. Every reality show needs to be expandable. It needs to grow past its initial conception, which is why you have the Housewives of Atlanta, the Housewives of New York, the Housewives of New Jersey, the Housewives of Timbuktu, the Housewives of Alaska. You see what I'm saying? So no matter what we're talking about, if somebody throws in, what is this talking point, I can come at it. So back to Shauna. Shauna was my girl, my client who was on The Doctors. I went with her. Hi, pretty Pisces. I went with her to The Doctors, the taping of The Doctors. Had I not drilled Shauna? Oh, evening, huh? Okay, yes. Had I not drilled Shauna, the chaos that ensued around her, it seemed like every 5 minutes another producer was coming here and can you talk about this and can you talk about that? And it was just pure chaos. And I was just like, had I not prepped her, she would have been a nervous wreck. But she could take it all in because the game didn't change. I told her every time they gave her a new thing they wanted her to see, if they can talk about, Shauna, the game done changed. What's your soundbite? And how are you going to answer this? Do you understand? So prepare for the worst. That's how I could come in at 12:40 and be out of the shower dressed with lipstick and some liner on, because it was a Skype interview, and be ready, because I didn't have to practice my talking points. I knew them. I know them like the back of my hand. What's up, Monica? And Tara will tell you, know your stuff like the back of your hand, because stuff will pop off in that studio, and it's chaos around you. That is not the time that you're thinking you're gonna be having your little flashcards and you're gonna be able to look and see what the flashcards say. You need to know. And like I'm so tough that I expect if I told you right now, Tara, give me the L, because Tara's segment is about glam, and we built it around the word glam. Glam is her acronym. So if I tell her, Tara, tell me what the L is. I haven't talked to Tara in a long time, but I know that whenever she pitches that is actually what she's supposed to say, I know she better tell me what the L of glam means. If I say, give me the M, she'd better tell me what the M of glam is. She needs to know her talking point, because here's the thing. Thank you. See, I told you she knows. The L of her glam is someone they have to like you. M, see, that's my girl. That's what a maverick does. I just threw out the letters. Y'all are seeing it in real time. I didn't know Tara was going to be here, but she knows, if nothing else, those are her 4 talking points. You have to be prepared, guys. Showing up and doing it on air is the 3 to 5 minutes. It's all the preparation that takes place beforehand. It's the drilling and practicing what your talking points are. So that is the media tip for the day, because stuff is going to happen. Stuff is going to pop off. If it doesn't, great. I'm at the dentist's office and hopped on. Got to be a mommy too. Yes. So if something pops off, you're not caught up in your headspace of still going over what your talking points are. You're able to show up and be fully present. If they give you last minute instructions like they did with my Maverick Shauna for the doctors, and I would just go there and be like, okay, I heard what they said. Here's how you're going to do this. And then you go right into your soundbite. That's it. That's how I can be comfortable at 12:40 for a 1 o'clock interview, because I'm not waiting to then to practice. I've been practicing. I practice with you guys every day. I can apply this to my business. Yes. And that's what I'm learning. The media tips. Are you nervous at all? Is that what you're asking me, JD? Tara, it's a lot of work, but you can shine like a diamond if you aren't shining. Yeah. Do I get nervous? Not anymore. And because the nervousness comes because I've practiced so much. And if nothing else, and that's what Wes and I, the person who interviewed me today, that's what he and I talked about, is the fact that in this space, I am the expert. And I've told you guys this before. I am the expert. So I know my stuff. When you know your stuff and you've practiced on talking in such a way that is concise and makes the point, you'll get nervous if it's your first time and you're trying to just see what it all is. But by the time you've done 6 and 7, 8 interviews, it just kind of feels like a flow. So then you can just show up prepared. I saw you guys typing stuff, but I didn't get a chance to read it. So type it again before we tap out. So do you get what I'm saying? Hang with. Do you get what I'm saying? Yes, thank you, Tara. It can make you nervous in the beginning, but when you know your stuff, you are good. Yeah, I just want your nervousness to come from it's being something you do for the first time. But I don't want your nervousness to come from you're not prepared. Know your stuff. That interviewer does not know your brand, your lane of expertise like you do. Thank you. I had an interview today, hence why I'm showing up like this. But they are counting on you to give them the information they don't have. So you have to know your stuff. When preparation meets opportunity, it guarantees success. So you prepare for the worst. And how do you prepare for the worst? You practice like all get out. And Tara will tell you, I will have her walking around saying what the soundbite is for G. What is it for A? What is it for L? What is it for M? That's what I do. When I'm sitting in traffic, I'm running over my talking points. You know, that's how I told y'all earlier when I did the interview. I think I told you guys this story when I got the interview, the call to do the Fox News channel. And it was less than 24 hours notice. And I said yes to the interview, did the interview so well that the host had no clue that I hadn't even written one word of the book. How was that possible? Because I already knew what my talking points were. And then I stayed up with my sister for like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning because it was a new segment. I hadn't done this segment before. And so I stayed up with my sister. My sister was drilling me 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning about my talking points. So then by the time I got to the interview, it was so in my head that it just came out. Same thing with the Mary J. Blige interview. I told you guys that. A friend of mine recommended me to Mary J. Blige. Got a call half hour later. I'm on the phone. I'm doing a radio interview with Mary J. Blige. I taught Mary J. Blige a talking point that it was about, I tied it to my domestic violence journey. And because I'd worked on this soundbite, when Mary asked me a question, I just spit the soundbite. And Mary's like, hold up, wait a minute. I got to go write that down. Say that again. Why was that? Because I'd already been in prep mode. I didn't know that this interview was coming. I was sitting in the parking lot at Costco. Had just left Costco shopping. Had no idea this interview was coming. But I could say yes because I was already prepared. With media, you have to be prepared. It is not time to get ready. That's confidence in knowing that you know what you're talking about. Nervous, who? Oh, okay, because you're a beast just like that. I give these tips to my career development team. Preparation is key. Don't get ready, be ready. Exactly. That's how if someone called me right now and said, TeeJ, can you be on the line in 5 minutes? Yep, just tell me what serves your viewer, what we're talking about. And I'm ready. That is why my company is called Media Mavericks. Only a maverick can roll like that. Only a maverick can say, okay, 30 minutes. Yeah, I can be, and then knock it out the park. Come on now. If Tara gets a call right now and says, can you come on and talk about the glam squad of the Oscars? Yes, she can. What time do I need to be there? Yes, D, ready at the drop of a dime. What time do I need to be there? For you all to want to actually be in media, you've got to be willing to put in the work. Yes, that's how my Mavericks roll, Ronika. I expect them to be able to say yes to interviews because I've taught them how to get prepared for them. So that is your media tip for the day. Was that helpful? Was that helpful? Let me know. Tap, tap, tap. Let me know. Say something. Show me some love. Do something. Yes. Okay, good, D. Yes. So tomorrow we are going to cover what I was going to cover today. And I love the fact that, my media tips, and that's the other thing that I shared with you guys last week is that my media tips are coming to me in the moment and I don't realize how much I know. And that's why this journey has been kind of cool for me because God is really allowing me to see how much I do know. And that I didn't realize I just got to unlock it, I just got to unlock it. But that's what happens when you are the expert in your field. When you know your stuff, you can just start teaching. That just happened, 20 hour ago, when my brother was like, you going to actually get on looking like that? Because I was a hot mess. I was sweaty and my shirt had the sweat stains on it. And he was just like, you going to go on in 20 minutes? Yes. I am. And I'm going to kill it when I go on. So, but that's just because I know my stuff. So when I get on here with you guys, I don't even plan on talking this long, but I know my stuff. That should be you. Whatever your lane of expertise is, that should be you. You should be able to just talk from your genius, talk from your expertise, own that space because you are the expert. Some of you guys are caterers and cooks. I can't own that space. I don't know how to cook. Clearly, I'm not overweight. I'm not missing a meal because I'm overweight. But at the same time, that is not my space. Whatever your space is, own it and know your stuff. Okay? Own it and know your stuff. Kim, you should be able to talk endlessly about real estate. If somebody called you for an interview today, you should be, yes, I can talk to you about that. And have it shaped that it's 3 to 5 minutes. We stay in our lane. Yes. So with that said, let's tap out. And I will tell you tomorrow what I was going to talk about you today. It was a good one. but I figured I should talk in the moment because this just happened. So that's another lesson. Go with the flow of what happens in the media. Go in the flow of what happens in the news. I took what happened earlier, turned it into a tip, and here I am. So that's a tip in itself, that you have to pay attention to what is happening around you, that you can attach your brand to, attach your expertise to, so then you can go pitch the media. In this case, I wasn't pitching, but I found the lesson in it, and here I am, talking about it an hour later. That is how fast media works. All right, so tap out in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. I'll see you guys in the morning for the Teality scopes. That's where I talk all things inspiration and motivation. And then if nothing else, I'll see you tomorrow afternoon for more media scopes, okay? Did I say 2, 1? Did I say it? All right. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.